start, as soon as I hit the F5 button on this screen. What's it ready for that?
I'll do it first.
It's got 5 minutes.
Please do.
So we should have got the 5 minutes. So, Caroline, ready to go?
Yes.
Yes? Right. Right.
Hello, my name is Caroline Nettle and my company name is Toxin Free Today, and I'm here to talk about the subject of why we're toxic and what effect toxins have on our body. And I'm just finding out how long 15 seconds is, so this is interesting. Okay, so in the 50s, we decided that it would be really clever to start introducing things like pesticides and herbicides, and we did that in order to improve our lives. And every single toxin that has been invented is actually something that we've created in order to make our lives more comfortable. The problem is we had no concept at all of how bad they would be for our health. And the question I get asked the most is, am I toxic? And the answer to that is the average person has between 350 and 375 toxins in their body at any one time. Babies, when they're born, they're doing tests around the world at the moment, and in the umbilical cord of a newborn baby, there's generally between 200 and 250 toxins, of which 70 to 80 are carcinogenic, which means obviously they are life-threatening or cancerous. So are we toxic? Absolutely. The problem with toxins is there's no geographical boundaries. So if there's a massive nuclear disaster in Chernobyl, for example, what happened? It all went into the wind, didn't it, and was deposited in Scandinavia, across Europe, across all the Baltics. So we tend to think that, oh, it's happening over there, but actually it's really not. It rains onto our food, the residue from the fields runs into our water systems, and we're all extremely, extremely toxic. So what happens to our bodies when we are overloaded with toxins? Well, the toxins mimic the body's systems. So they go into the digestive system, the immune system, and they pretend that the system is doing what it's supposed to. So the brain thinks that the body is regenerating, rejuvenating, and repairing itself, but actually it's not. And this is where we see a really big breakdown of things like the immune system. And one of the problems with toxins is autoimmune diseases, asthmas, allergies, cancers, diabetes, all of these things are massively on the increase, and doctors just really can't understand why. And one of the things that I think is a big contributor is the way we choose to live our life. You know, we manufacture in a way that's not good for the environment. We pump out loads of rubbish into it. But nature herself actually makes the environment really toxic. When a volcano goes off, there's enormous amounts of mercury that go into the atmosphere. Forest fires are the same. Trees tend to absorb lots of toxins. When we have a massive forest fire, up these toxins go. We've got methane beds. And we have, as a result, massive environmental disasters, which generally people, think, oh, that's really sad, but I don't think people are looking at the overall picture. Our Earth is basically suffocating. So I'm not saying all of this to depress everybody. What I'm trying to do is empower people. For example, in our homes, we like things to smell nice. And the things that make them smell nice are called volatile organic compounds, and they are the most carcinogenic toxin that we have in our lives today. We put these things in our mouths, and mercury fillings are proven to off-gas at room temperature. And a tooth they took out something like 15 years ago is still letting mercury go. And that goes into the roof of your mouth and straight into your system. The average food that we eat on a plate of food has been sprayed 5 to 15 times before we get to eat it. So 80% of the toxins in our system comes from the food that we eat and the water that we drink. And eating organic is really good, but unfortunately toxins, as I said before, there are no boundaries. So I got really well from being basically toxically poisoned, I think is the way I say it. And I want to talk about, this man is wonderful. He's the only man alive to have had 2 Nobel Peace Prizes. And he says, and it's controversial, but he says it's a fact that 90% of all medical conditions are attributable to excessive heavy metals. So what is detox? Now, everybody knows that detox is good for you. There are hundreds of different ways that we detox. This is the empowerment bit. Your liver and kidneys are always detoxing. Your skin's detoxing. We sneeze, we cough. We have all these systems. And we always detox because we want to improve our health. And anybody that's ever detoxed knows that it makes you feel fabulous. Well, we live in a society which says that as we get older, we're going to get sicker. And I don't think that that is the truth, and I want that 15 seconds to hurry up. So I really think that we can live a much healthier, much longer life if we take the toxins and heavy metals out of our body. I am really passionate about helping people to detox. I have with me 6 ways to reduce your toxic burden, which is just 6 simple things that you can do every day to reduce your toxic intake. And on my website there's an e-book which tells you about a product that I think is absolutely wonderful, which will help you to take the heavy metals and toxins out of your body. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Okay, any questions?
80% of toxins that comes from food and drink that we put into our bodies.
Yeah.
What's the number one way we can actually start to eliminate that?
Eat organic.
Mm-hmm.
Eat organic.
Is there a massive difference between organic and
The problem with, there is an argument running about the organic in that if I have an organic field here which is next to a crop that's been sprayed in the wind, I genuinely don't believe that there's anywhere left on the planet that grows 1,000,000% organic food. But to be really honest, the best thing that you can do is make your liver really, really healthy, because the liver's job is to detoxify. But we live in a society where we're stressed, we eat too much fat, we really put our liver under a lot of strain. And as soon as the liver gets under strain, it basically puts the toxins where it thinks the body's not going to get harm to them. So for women, that's in the fat, the bones, the brain, places like that, which is great. The liver thinks it's doing a really good job, but the toxins then don't move. And then later on we get things like developing like your cancers and diabetes and stuff like that, because the toxins are basically poisoning you. So I think the number one thing you can do is just exercise, drink a lot of really good fluids, look after yourself as best you can. Change your cleaning products, change your makeup, change what you bathe in. One of the worst things that we do is get into hot water with toxins in it, because your pores are wide open, and you're just basically bathing in all the parabens and all the nasties. So, it's not one thing. I think it's just a whole life change. But, there is hope. There are products out there that can help you remove them and get rid of them. So, that's your question. Hello.
Is there a big advantage to being a vegetarian compared to being a meat eater in terms of toxins?
I don't know how to be an intelligent answer to that. I would actually say probably vegetables get sprayed 10 to 15 times. I don't know how to answer that. I really don't. No, it's fine. It's a good question actually, but I would.
Sounds like it's a more complicated question and answer than it's on the surface.
Yeah, I would have to think about
But the animals will have eaten the sprayed stuff as well, won't they? So,
definitely.
so and been injected by them.
Yeah, and antibiotics. And hello.
Is there a big difference between drinking bottled water and tap water?
It really depends on the ethics of the company that put the water in the bottle, would be my answer to that. The average tap water, unfortunately, tends to be full of antibiotics and the pill and and residue off the farms. And well, the thing is, we think we're really clever, but actually, there's only one lot of water, and it just it gets rain. It becomes rain, then it rains down, and then we drink it. Personally, I don't buy bottled water because of the plastic and the environmental. But that's my politics. Again, I'm sure if you looked on the internet, I'm sure there's been some testing, but I think that would remain with your personal choice. Anyone else?
You said that 10 or 15 years after having it taken out, most people still be releasing into your system. How can that be?
Not into your system, no, sorry, the tooth. There's on my website, there's a link to a video, and they've got the tooth, and they put an IR filter in front of it, and you can see that it's still releasing mercury. So
After the filling, you mean?
The filling's been taken out, the tooth is not attached in any way to the human, and it's still letting off mercury. And but one of the most dangerous things you can do is actually take your mercury fillings out if you're at a dentist that doesn't know what they're doing, because it can just put a massive amount of mercury into you. But again, there's many dentists that now do
Just about finding the right dentist.
Yes, and you can Google that.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the 5 minutes.
Oh,